So hello, everyone. Welcome to another Facebook Live here on the Shower Door Professionals Group. I'm Chris Phillips. You know me, and welcome aboard. As you know, every Wednesday evening at about 5:30 Pacific time, we do this live stream. We've been doing it now for months, so I guess it's catching on. Anyway, we all get together here, meet up, talk about shower doors, shower door business, you know, stuff that we love. And you can always join us here in Zoom by just clicking on the link there in the description and the Shower Door Pros Facebook group. And come on in. I will admit you to the Zoom room. And yay, what's going on out there, everybody? Anybody got something going on? I know somebody has something going on here that they're proud of. But kind of hoping that well, there's Robert.
Hello,
how's it going, Robert? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've been running around. Yeah.
It's good to see you again, man.
Good
Yeah,
to
I'm
be-
hoping the Castro will show up. He's got some kind of exciting news. But I know Bill Dobbin does too. I just want to go ahead and congratulate you for once again making Inc.'s top 5,000 what fastest growing businesses in the country, right? So you've got two locations that have made this.
Well, it's more interesting. They're all my shower doors, but as you go into different cities, I broke them up into separate legal entities. Therefore, they have their own set of books, their own tax returns and all. So Inc. changed the way they used to do things where you could group it all together, and now you have to report separate ones. And fortunately, two of our companies fit within their qualifications, so we made the list 2 times this year. One is the main My Shower Door, and then the city of Tampa has its own business. And then Brendan also made it. So it's really good to see the glass industry appear there. I was really happy when I saw Brendan's there because it's the first time that I saw his, and that's showing me that his company is growing. So that's great.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, and he's been putting it out there. We were talking a little bit earlier about before we started the live stream about consulting. We were talking about Max Pearlstein. We're kind of hoping that he'll show up.
Yeah, great interview the other day, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Max makes it so easy. He's so good. He's really good.
I enjoy his podcast in general.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the industry, but great representation.
Well, thank you.
You're a great ambassador for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tell you, I reached out to the other couple that was on prior to me, Jody and Dan Martinez from Spokane, Washington. And we hit it off, and Jody's going to be at Glass Build. So we're going to meet up at Glass Build. And that's the good thing about what Max does. He tries to help connect people, even though the first guy was from Guardian Glass. I'm sure we're going to run into him at the show. So it's good to have representation of the shower door professionals there. So I invited Max. I sent it to Chris. I said, Max, you got to hear what Chris is doing. He's trying to get this group built up, and I think your presence would be really, really welcomed. So he's going to try it. He's going to try and get on tonight. I think Chris said that Max sent him either an email or text that. Not sure he can make it, but he's going to try. If not, he will put aside time next week. But yeah, Max is if you guys haven't met him, he's an incredible ambassador for this industry as a whole, not just the shower doors, but anything glass. And if you read his podcasts every week, it's only positive news. It really is. And that's what we all need. Just support each other and continue to grow this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Max is an expert in the industry at large. I mean, so he's just got such a vast amount of knowledge and connections and relationships. He's just been around the industry for a long time, and he's just such a great guy and such a likable person and such a just a generous person. You know, if you are looking for information, he's the guy. And he's, like I say, he's very accessible. And I know he's a consultant. He does it for a living, but I don't know how he's making a living because he's just so generous and just giving away information. But maybe that's just the hook, that gets you in his net where he can.
Hey, Chris, the other good thing, and I would assume you read it because you were tagged on it, was Andrew Herring's reaching out to shower door professionals to form a group to set up some safety standards and guidelines for best practices in our industry. And I've reached out to a couple of other guys that I know, and they're all for it and are more than willing to participate in it. And I know that Andrew reached out through you. He contacted you, and I'm sure that he's going to ask you if you know others that would be interested in this also.
Yeah, I did see that on LinkedIn. He tagged a number of us, and that's another guy that's just a great guy who's very active in the industry and is always, kind of got his finger on the pulse of things. So it's cool to be, just to be mentioned by him out there. And yeah, I mean, I think I think I saw your name on the list too, and along with some others. And it's always a pleasure, to be able to participate in anything like that. But I see that Brandon is on now, and I don't know if he, there you go. He just unmuted. Hey, we were talking about you, Brandon. I just wanted to say.
I'm running around crazy trying to load up because I'm going hunting in the morning. So I'm trying to get last minute stuff together. So
good for you, man. I'm glad to hear it. Well, hey, I just wanted to say congratulations, man, on making the Inc. 5000 list, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, couldn't. Obviously, I'm nothing without the team we have. So it's all pretty much those guys who made it happen. And congrats to Bill too. I mean, two of your companies, Bill. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. But Brandon, I am so happy that we've got other glass industry guys appearing there, especially across the country. Florida might be an anomaly because it's so busy and everybody moving here. But to start seeing the other pockets of the country and our industry showing up on that list, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's just definitely cool.
Yeah, I like it because it's people I know too. So,
right?
Thanks for making. They usually put on a really big event, but I don't think that's going to happen again this year. They didn't do it last year. They're talking about.
It's funny. They kept sending the emails and stuff of all the stuff they were going to do with Zoom and all that. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to make that, and then I'm like, oh crap, that was 2 days ago. I missed it. And
yeah.
So
their live events are absolutely amazing. And from what I hear, they're going to do these regional ones. So there'll be one in Miami, there might be one in Phoenix or some. Last time we went out to Scottsdale and it was amazing. It was really
cool.
good.
Nice.
Yeah. Good golf out there.
There is. There is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such it's not a huge industry, the glass industry, and 5,000 really isn't that big of a number when you're considering all of the companies that are in the United States. And so to have a couple members, especially that are right here, in this forum, that have made that list is pretty spectacular. What are the chances of that?
Yeah, it's slim. It only hit home a couple of years ago when you go to this thing and they start talking about there's over 4,300,000 private businesses in the United States. Think about that, 4,300,000, and you're in the top 5,000. That's like half of 1% or even half of that. It's ridiculously small.
A tenth of 1%.
Now, I am going to marginalize this. You got to understand this. It's based on growth over a 3-year period.
Yep.
Some of the companies that come in number 1, 2, and 3, they're not even in business anymore. And you'd say, how can that even happen? It's because they expanded so quick and so big, they imploded.
Yeah.
Some guys just got way too big, you know,
Yeah,
a company.
you look at like number 1 and 2, they're like 48,000% growth over
Yeah.
3 years. And a lot of those are like tech companies, right? And then they get a lot of venture capital stuff in there and all that, and then all this money from people to grow the company, and then it just goes nowhere.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, there's a certain sweet spot that you got to be, well, that you could be in so that you can continue getting your growth over a 3-year period. Like if I did 100 million this year, I'd probably make that list, but I'd probably never make it again because you need a minimum of 40 to 60% growth.
Yeah.
Over 3 years from $100 million. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, if you're in that sweet spot from, you know, let's say 1 million to 10 million, at least you've got room to grow and you can hit it. So they do have minimums. You have to have, I think, the minimum of $2 million on from 3 years ago. And then you have to have a minimum of, I think it's 35 or 40% growth over that period just to be considered.
Wow.
So there's a lot of metrics involved there.
Yeah. I was trying to do the math and I was like, I'm going to let them do the math. I was trying to do they give you a breakdown of like how to calculate the growth. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right, it's pretty tricky how they calculate over 3 years, but
yeah. So it's pretty good stuff though. And
so now you've been on the list for multiple years, right, Bill?
Yeah, this was number 6 for us. But again, I was right in that sweet spot when it started. It was right at the beginning. So, you know, think about it. If your revenue was $10 and then you went to $15, I mean, that's a big percentage growth.
yeah.
But the percentage of growth is only off of $10. So it's not your total revenue, it's the revenue growth. And they're basing it on percentages. So it's a tricky calculation. I mean, it sounds good at the end of the day, but you got to be in a sweet spot to be able to continue to grow realistically without imploding.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
an old saying goes, slow growth is good growth.
Couldn't agree more with that. Yeah.
Because it's sustainable, you know.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly, I mean, Brandon, the same thing. You could nail down, you know, 15 contracts of a big year, but then you don't have the guys to do it. You don't have the supply and, you know, all sorts of things can happen. But if you have steady growth and you plan and project for it and you hit that, that's perfect. That's the way to grow.
Yeah. It's like we have a magazine that comes out and ranks the top custom builders in the state by revenue.
Yeah.
And one of the builders that we do work for I think they were number 2 or number 3 a couple years ago. But I mean, they built a $25 million house and it just threw them up. And then the next year they were down to like number 20 or something like that. You know what I mean? They had that one good anomaly year for one contract, and then they kind of got put back where they kind of normally are. So
yeah. No, there's a company in Naples that's made the list 4 years now, and he makes beef jerky, and it's called Chomps, CHOMPS. Phenomenal brand. And each year he keeps growing because he just now got into Walmart's and Whole Foods. And it goes on and on and on. But there's going to be a point where you just don't grow anymore, or not to that level. But again, he's in that sweet spot. But now he's up into, I don't know, it's $600 million in sales. So he's doing pretty well for himself from beef jerky.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I like beef jerky.
Yeah. Who doesn't, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good
Especially Dennis.
protein while you're eating. Yeah.
I like deer jerky and elk jerky.
Ooh, now you're talking.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that's real good.
What are you going hunting for, Brandon?
Archery deer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
It's not-
same unit, my buddy has an archery bull elk tag in right after deer ends at the end of the month, or it ends like middle of September. So I'll help him scout while we're up there too. So it'd be fun, get away for a few days.
Absolutely. What area do you go to hunt?
I usually go up around Flagstaff, Arizona, but I'm going up. I just bought a cabin up in Pine, Arizona, like Pine Strawberry, north of Payson. So I'm going to start hunting those units up there, and there's a place called Happy Jack, and we're going to be hunting in that area, Happy Jack. So
awesome. Yeah, I know the area. My sister has a cabin in Pine, and my brother lives in Payson.
yeah,
So yeah, I know that area. There's a lot of elk up there, man.
dude, the elk, the guy who so quick story, really quick. I bought this cabin, so we put in a couple offers, one in Happy Jack, one in by Flagstaff, and then like, let's go check out Pine. Let's go check it out. Go up to Pine and love the area, small little town, cool little restaurants. And then we look at the cabin and we love it. We're like, all right, perfect. We're going to put it just got listed. And so we offered them asking price. They came back to us the next day and said, okay, we accept your offer. We're like, sweet, finally someone accepts our offer when we're not paying cash, And so I get a message on Facebook later that evening from a family friend I grew up with, and we used to live with my mom, and my brothers used to live with his mom and him and his sister. And he goes, hey, you looking for a cabin? I'm like, actually, we just bought one. He goes, up in Pine? And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? And he's like, it was my cousin's cabin. And I'm like, really? And then so turns out the cousin who it is, I know him. I did his showers in his personal house by my house like 6 years ago. And I'm like, small world, like how does that happen? And but speaking of the elk, he feeds the elk, and they're in the driveway every single day and every evening, like, and he can hand feed them. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna put a radio collar on one of those things and see, take me to your grandpa.
Lead me to your family.
Yeah. So, but kind of cool how they just hang out in the yard.
So
Yeah.
you call it a cabin. So what's it consist of?
It's on a half acre. It's just kind of like an A-frame cabin on stilts with the crawl space, 3-bedroom, little 1,500 square foot thing.
Okay. So it's like an actual cabin.
Yeah, we were looking for something with more land, like 5 acres, kind of away from people. But then we decided, you're either getting the land or you're going to get the cabin. And so we decided to get the cabin. We're like, we might Airbnb it a little bit. So we're like, it's not a better place in Pine to Airbnb it. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that too, man. It's a great area. They're really nice people, really friendly. Everybody feeds the elk up there. It's kind of the thing they do. You're not supposed to, but,
right. The entrepreneur in me wants to Airbnb it. My wife wants us to keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
We do that, Airbnb.
Yeah.
We do Airbnb, then we have another one at the lake house, and we do that through a realty company. So
yeah, see, and that's the thing. It's like I was talking to a buddy, and the perspective he said, he's like, look, he's like, you either Airbnb it or you keep it as your own, because you're never gonna find that sweet spot. And he goes, can't have a wife and a hooker at the same time, or strippers at the same time, or something like that. He's like, if you're gonna Airbnb it, strictly just get one to Airbnb and then get one for yourself. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, out there, if you're just joining us, or if you didn't know, we're just talking a little bit about, we've got a couple of members here that have businesses that have made the Inc. 5000 list this year. Bill Dobman here with My Shower Door has 2 locations that have made the list this year. And Brandon DeCastro, his location in Phoenix, Arizona, GCS Glass Mirror, has also made the list this year. And so these guys have fast growing glass businesses. And so if you're somebody who's interested in maybe growing your business, here's a couple of guys who are like doing it right now. So, I mean, if you've got a question, I'm sure these guys would be happy to answer it for you. I'm kind of curious, what would you say is the key factor to your being able to have this, this growth over the past 3 years? I mean, these are difficult times, for most people. I mean, a lot of businesses are receding. because of the challenges that are out there, and to have a business that's actually growing and being one of the 5,000 fastest growing companies in the country. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. So Bill, since you're kind of the senior guy here, why don't you start out? Just tell us, just give us like one or two key things that you think have been responsible for this growth.
I don't know if it's one or two, Chris, but it's a combination of things for us. First of all, being in Florida. I mean, everybody's moving to Florida. There's an awful lot of business here. So the location is obviously good. Having the right people and the right staff and training and having the patience to train them right so that you can replicate yourself. We set up the process and we get the right people and we have a great product. So we have the 3 Ps is what every business student learns, right? You got to have product, people, and process. Once you set up the process and you have the right people in place, you should start growing. And then the other big key is marketing, just to know how to market yourself to get the word out there. And I tell everybody that you could have the best product in the world and with the best installers and everything. If they don't know about you, it doesn't do you any good. And some of the most profitable companies in the country are not the best ones in the country. They just market themselves really good. And word gets out and they create a demand. And I think that's pretty evident. I mean, I put a ton of money into marketing, and I know Brandon and Chance have done that as well. And just exposure. And then you just keep replicating it. One of the really neat things that I always did is we went after the existing homeowner. I mean, we built our business on selling shower doors to homeowners, doing the removals, where a lot of guys are chasing the builders. And that's good. But the difference is a builder doesn't tell another builder about a good sub. He keeps it to himself. But you do a good job for a homeowner, especially these older people that are living in the high rises, they tell everybody. So the word of mouth that you get from concentrating on the residential jobs is really worth it. So I think that was another big portion of our growth.
Yeah.
Brandon, what do you think?
I think Bill like hit it on the head right there, the 3 Ps, like that's the big thing. And for me, it was building the core people for the company that you can build off of, because in any company, you're going to have the guys that I call them lunch pail guys. Like they come in, they're good at what they do. All they want to do is they want to come in, get the work done and leave. And then you have your other guys that want to stay. They want to do extra. They want to grow with the company and go up the ranks with the company. And those are the guys that are your core people that you're going to build off of. And I think by having the processes for them and to build off of is huge. And so I built my company different than Bill. We went after builders first and built a good portfolio. And like he says, they don't refer other builders because they want to keep you for themselves and all this stuff. And that's why when you cold call builders all the time, like, yeah, actually I am looking for a glass guy because I can't find a good reliable one. And but what helped us out a lot too was getting into the designer world, because the designers work with all the same builders, and then they start throwing your name around. Hey, let's use this guy. And then you start getting into more builders from the designers that way. And it's helped out a lot. But I think the growth for us over the last year and a half or whatever since COVID has been marketing to the retail customer, not necessarily the builders. And I credit my team for it. Now, Chance done an amazing job with the marketing and the stuff we've done and put in place and all that. But it just goes back to the processes. Anybody, I shouldn't say anybody, but most people can install a shower door, right? I mean, you're not really competing about how you install a shower door. You're competing about your image, your process, the customer service, and you're giving a customer the experience. And that's what we try to word it and sell it the best way we can, that you're getting an experience when you're working with us. It's not just a product. So we're going to back it and we're going to stick around. We're not a fly by night company that's just going to bail on you when there's a problem. So
Yeah, the experience is huge. Think about it. You go to a place like Jiffy Lube, anybody can change oil, but they
Yep.
kind of give you an experience when you go in there and it's all song and dance, but people love it. And they come back, and it goes for a lot of different things that you go shopping for, or you see, whether it's restaurants that give you entertainment or really good service. We're lucky in the glass business. We've got a great product. The product sells itself. Now all you have to do is amplify it and build off of that. So if you have a process set up where you can replicate it and keep going, and then you have the right people to institute the process, you got a home run. You should be able to build it from there. But we're lucky, there's a lot of people struggling out there thinking of how can I start a business? What can I sell? We've got one of the best products in the world with glass. It's just so appealing to everybody. So now take it to the next level. You've got that customer. How do you get your name away from the other 20 other glass guys out there? What do you do different? How do you participate in the community? Do you have enough staff to go to the home builder meetings, to the remodelers, designers, architects, plumbing shops, tile outlets, all these different things to make those connections? So it takes a team. I'm just lucky to have a family that can do it with also. Not a lot of you have that.
No.
But don't forget, when you have a family, you're splitting your profits across the family also. So there's guys that own their own business, and you don't have to do that volume. Doing the volume and having a number of people has its challenges. I mean, I'm always trying to create new opportunities for the rest of the staff to grow in the company. So I've got 132. I probably got 5 of them this week. Says I'd like to do more. What else can I do? How can I grow? And that's our challenge as a boss, is to create those opportunities for people to grow in a company and add value. So, that's a harder challenge there, to manage that number of people and create constant growth. Now, and what's the rest of the growth? I mean, I hear it here. Guys are doing glass railings. Wine closets have become a real big thing, where a lot of builders are putting them in standard now, and they never would have done that before. So, and again, we're in that wheelhouse with the right product. The COVID partitions, big deal. Instead of putting the plastic shields up at the grocery store or at the public offices, they're starting to do more glass. And, look for other opportunities. I guess you guys may have seen on Facebook a company called Ventraza that sells the glass floor mats. They do a great job. They sell these glass floor mats for underneath your office chair for $475. And it's a piece of 1/4 inch clear tempered. That's it.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They're bringing in caseloads from China that they're probably paying $7.50 a panel, and you're getting $450 for it, but they're giving a lifetime guarantee.
We used to do that with our standard door lights. 3476, 4676.
Sure.
Sold a ton of them.
Yeah. And you can still do that. You can do that with 3/8 and 1/2 inch lights also.
But you don't want to be the gal standing over the reflective glass.
Yeah, right. But yeah, you take a look at that company, Ventraza, they're doing amazing, and it's all internet sales. There's so many other opportunities of glass things that you can sell.
Yeah. We had them at our shop when we had a storefront. We had them on the floor. It's because you roll your chair around on them and everything else.
Yeah.
And they never broke.
But look at how well they market it.
Oh, yeah.
They do a great job marketing it. You guys could do it too. You can use it as giveaways to somebody. Give it to a builder so that you can get the rest of his work. Say, give me a house and I'm going to give you a surprise for your office.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Costs you next to nothing, and every day he rolls on it, he's thinking of you.
Yeah. Man, this is really nice.
Yeah, come on. Piece of 1/4 inch clear. If they put it on hardwood floor, you put the little plastic buttons under it. If it's on carpet, you need nothing.
No, just put it down and roll it around.
And it's so much better than the plastic ones that they sell at Staples.
Right.
And if you really want to get into good, you bring in cases of it, and then you go to your local office supply shops and sell it to those guys. You can wholesale it to them.
Wow.
Yeah, because back in the day, we used to buy, standard size tempered glass. It was 3476, 4676. by the caseloads
Sure.
and sell that.
Why not? Why
Worked
not?
great.
You're in business to make money, right?
Yeah.
That's why you're there.
Then we put
Screw
one,
China.
then we put a bronze one down, and the gal stand over, and everybody saw the reflection.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You get in trouble for that nowadays.
Start selling, so sell it
Oh, yeah.
frosted. Sell it acid etch.
Yeah,
Yes.
gotta be careful.
That,
Yeah,
oh, that's acid with a C.
right.
So
Well, hey,
anyway,
any of
Bill,
you guys here have any questions for Bill or Brandon? You know,
I just want to get back to Bill. You were
Yeah.
talking about industry standards for shower doors.
Yes.
You
Did you
know,
see? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it, but years ago out here in California, up in Petaluma, we had a building inspector that went in and he started looking at all these shower door installations and he goes, okay, where's the engineering for this stuff? You know, what you did, how do I know it's going to work? And he more or less told the glazing engineer, says, come up with some proof or I'm going to shut down, you know, all these shower doors. And so that's when C.R. Lawrence went in and put in all their guidelines. So there was some proof behind what you're doing.
Is that guy's appointment?
Which one?
You said you couldn't go to one of the shower guys?
Who's talking there?
For there?
I'm sorry, hold on one second, guys.
what's that now?
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, so anyway, C.R. Lawrence came up with all the guidelines to appease the California building inspectors.
Yeah, so that's what Andrew is trying to do is, you know, not everyone uses CRL hardware, right?
No, they
So-
don't.
So what we're trying to do is put together a group. So there's some kind of standards, you know, some of these states, it's a wild, wild west. There's no licensing, or even in states with licensing, there's unlicensed guys.
Well,
And
yeah,
there's handymen, there's do-it-yourselfers. So we're trying to set some kind of a safety guideline or standard or best practices for the industry, everywhere from the silicone through hardware usage, weight capacity, size doors, hinge requirements, fastening requirements, and some technical stuff with load bearing, non-load bearing, any of that type of thing. So he's trying to get a national group of guys together that can put together a good set of standards.
Well overdue.
Yeah, it is, and it really truly is. And there's a lot of guys that have reached out and said, I couldn't agree more that it's necessary.
you know,
But, you know, let's face it, I do things that are different than Chris Phillips or Tim Connell or Brandon. And you guys do things that are different to me. And it doesn't mean that I'm right or you're right. It's different. But the big question is it safe? And how do you test it? And, you know, I've had all sorts of things saying you can't go that wide with a door. You can't go that tall with the door without doing this and this and this. Well, if they haven't tested it, they're just guessing. Just because you've had one service call for this, that doesn't mean it's safe.
Yeah.
I've seen many wall mount doors pull out of a hinge, and they didn't do anything against safety requirements. If you look at the safety requirement, it's fine. It's just that the hinge wasn't holding the glass.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, that's more dangerous than just about anything else I've seen. Now, I have seen guys just caulk fixed panels in place with no mechanical fasteners at all, nor a groove in a stone or anything else.
I've got a good one. On the Monterey Peninsula, we have the Navy Postgraduate School. And they have a hotel there, which was a Del Monte Hotel. It's like a 100-year-old hotel.
Yeah.
And that's where all the big wigs go. And they spent like, I don't know how many, $25 million to upgrade this thing. And the guy calls me, he goes, the shower doors are hitting. So I go over there, here's a channel, root, you know, cut into the tile. And 12-inch panel, no mechanical fasteners on the bottom, and glass-to-glass hinges. and a door,
Mhm.
and they're all crapping out.
Sure.
Stuff like that is, the stuff I see is they just go out and do what they want.
I know I did this one. I bid this one hotel, casino hotel, that they were hinging a 1/2-inch panel off of another panel in U channel, and they were trying to get me to do that. I go, no way in hell I will do that to risk my company. I go, you got to have a clamp system or something with that to hold that weight, and I would not do it.
No, like I said, I got too much real estate,
Yeah.
and I don't want to lose it over one stupid shower door.
Nope.
So Adrian, we had the same thing, and this was the Marriott group.
Yeah.
So they designed it that way. So we went back and we said, look, let us value engineer it for you, which they love to hear that. And we said, we'll do it that way, but we'll use a pivot hinge on the bottom and a pivot to glass bracket. So now the weight's not all pulling off of that one in the channel. Most of the weight now is sitting on your threshold and pivoting it. And they agreed to it and let us do it that way.
Yeah.
But they come in with their designers and you have to do a model unit for them and they check it out.
I did do the mock-ups for them. They had a warehouse where they did the where they designed all the hotels and stuff. I did all that. I went and changed out the hardware color, everything. And I pulled out one that I had to pull out the glass. They have this glass called Poe glass, I think it's called. It's like a satin etch, and then as it goes up, it clears out and becomes clear glass.
Like a gradient.
What is that called?
Yeah. Well, it's gradient. It's a
gradient. Yeah. And so I almost got the job, but I mean, it was gonna be a lot of work. They wanted like a lot done in a short period of time.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the manpower, but I did the mock-ups though. I made good money off of those, but the way they wanted to do it, they didn't. I didn't feel safe and I didn't feel, secured with that. So, I didn't do it. God best.
Hotel jobs can make you or break you. I've just learned an awful lot about that.
Yeah, I'm passing on that. I don't need that headache. Hey, I got a question for you guys. Hey, I have a guy recently, he quit on me. He was my shower door guy. We're an all-purpose glass shop. So we don't just do shower doors. We do windows, we do repairs, we do service calls, just a little bit of everything except for auto glass. Screw auto glass now. I will never do that again, but we do everything. And shout out to the guy from California. What's up? I'm from California too.
Yeah.
Tim, what part of California are you from?
Monterey Peninsula.
Where's that at? Like,
Where are you at?
Carmel, right?
I'm an hour from Sacramento, north of Sacramento.
What town?
Yuba City.
Yuba City. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm south of you. You know where
South?
Salinas is?
Well, Chris, you're from what? You're from Santa Cruz, right?
Santa Cruz.
That's right. Beautiful Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and then okay.
So I'm across the bay.
All right. I'll be there this weekend fishing. So, anyways, hey, my question to you guys, to the California guys, I know it might be a little different from elsewhere, but so I had a guy, he moved from Texas to California. And so when he came and asked me for a job, I told him straight in his face, you did everything backwards. Everybody's leaving California, going to Texas. And so he ended up coming here because, he had family and stuff, and he didn't really have family in Texas. So, but he grew up there. And he came here, and, I gave him modest pay, in that area, it's pretty good. I mean, I paid him, $28 an hour for selling shower doors all day for me. And it's not bad. I mean, but still, it was not enough. He says, in Texas, he got paid, I think it was 17, but he had like so much overtime that it made up for his, what he was, he was happy with. But when he came here, we don't do overtime. We don't.
No.
We pride ourselves. 5 o'clock, go home to be with your family, and and that's it. We don't work our guys to death like that, And so he quit last week because he was not getting that overtime. So I was talking to my dad, who is, we're all, me, my dad, my brother, my mom, we're owner of the company here. And so I was talking to my dad, and I was like, man, what if we do piecework with him where, he gets paid by the job, so we could, because, we were figuring out he could make more money doing that instead, And, but we talked to our accountant, and he says we can't do piecework in California. You guys heard about that? Or
Unless he's an independent contractor.
well, what do you mean? I mean, he is. I know he's not an independent contractor. He's, like I said, he doesn't have no license or nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
is that
it.
hard?
Contractor, so he really can't.
You can't do piecework like that.
No,
No, not with an employee.
no.
Not with an employee. That's what our CPA told us. So I'm like, dang, I don't want to lose him, but I mean, he won't. I mean, I don't put overtime on my jobs too. I'm not gonna lose money because he wants it. It's not gonna happen. So now I'm back installing and pricing and bidding. So I'm like, so I'm like,
Hey,
I feel your
Yeah,
pain,
like-
man.
So Adrian, can I make a
Feel it right
suggestion?
here.
yeah.
Or let me ask you a question. Do you know where he needs to be financially? Like if you wanted to put him on a salary?
No, I have not really gotten that detail, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight up. He told me his situation, and it's sort of his fault in a way that the position that he's in.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a
It
girlfriend
always
that doesn't work.
is.
He has a girlfriend that doesn't work, and so he's supporting her. I go, dude, in California, you need 2 incomes.
right.
If you're not making $1 million a year, you need 2 incomes. And then he has a house in Texas that he owns, but the in-laws are living in it for rent free. So he's having to pay rent in Texas and here. So I'm like, dude, so am I supposed to? What am
You're
I?
not
I
supposed to
mean,
take care of
I'm
his
like,
problem.
exactly. And so he says, well, he's not making it. Well, that's his fault then. I mean, you gotta, grow some cojones and tell your in-laws to freaking pay for rent. So I don't want to lose the guy. It's just, it's hard to find help in the industry that we do. And right now, I mean, I could train people, but you got all these stupid millennials that don't want to work, and they're retarded half the time. They don't want to learn nothing. And I don't have the patience right now. I just want to sort of grab them and just like, what the heck?
Like me.
I want to go spank their parents and say, hey, look what you did.
Yeah.
So
No, that's true.
it's hard to find anybody that wants to work. I mean, everybody wants to stay home, and I mean, you should see my town. Everyone is help looking for help everywhere. All the fast food, all the restaurants around here are closing early because they can't find anybody to work. So they only open for a couple hours and they close.
I
So
think that's nationwide right now.
yeah, so it's kind of like I'm kind of struggling. I mean, we have 7 trucks. They're out all day. We have guys to fill those and do the typical service calls, window jobs and stuff like that. But shower doors, it's kind of like, it's a different, it's more a detailed job than those areas, and you got to find that right, person to go into a job and, that could represent you in a way where they could do a clean and professional job,
Yeah, absolutely.
because we get a lot of word of mouth. I mean, I don't pride myself to get builders. I mean, I like to get a few of them, but honestly, builders are a bunch of prima donnas. Dude, I can't deal with them. They give me a headache. I'd rather deal with, like Bill says, just go out there and talk to sell yourself to the homeowners, because the homeowners will tell 20 people down the street about you, and then you got there's your business right there.
You hope you have a lot of friends.
Honestly, builders, I like I'm dealing with a builder right now. He just sent me 3 floor plans. He wants me there right now to go measure. I go, dude, I don't have time. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm so busy right now. And all right. I mean, he goes, oh, I'll find somebody else. Okay, bye. Get somebody else. I'm not going to deal with that. No one's going to dictate me how I run my business, So
So when you do work for builders, do they send you contracts and
They send me specs. They send me blueprints and stuff, and I gotta
Yeah,
go
but
off
when
that.
you do the job, did it send you a contract to sign and everything else?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's,
No.
I won't do
No.
that with any builder anymore.
Yeah, no contract. Oh, now what I do is I do a proposal to them, and
Yeah.
then they sign that. And if they sign it, then I'll do it. But
Yeah.
without a proposal signed, I will not do it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Same with me. So we have builders around here. One guy, I did 2 shower doors and I got a, vanilla envelope with a contract in it.
Yeah.
Did that. He wanted two mirrors added. I get another manila envelope, another contract. So now
You ever
won't
get a
even-
contract where he scratched out the price and put his own?
we won't even do work for people that want contracts. You take my quote at the end of the job, you send me my money, and I'm gone.
Yeah. No, thing around here is we're a pretty small town. I mean,
So-
yeah. So I mean, you do us wrong. I mean, me and my brothers, we're not small. We're
No.
pretty big. We're all over 6 feet tall. So you mess with our money, or I'm sure enough we're gonna be knocking on your door and make sure we get it.
Yeah.
So
It's like, I'm a full service glass shop too, so.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of opening up a collections department. So if you ever want to move to Florida, we could use you.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
just thinking. I was thinking there's a side business right
Dude,
there.
I have
the glass.
the
glass and
the
collections.
Lokes. I got the Lokes glasses and everything too. I got me my suit. I'll dress up and then we'll just go look like we're kind of a bunch of gangsters.
Yeah, instead of driving a limo, we can drive a Brinks truck.
Yeah,
Go around, make collections, right? I love it.
I'm gonna take my lowrider and have it hop up and down.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so you're up there in Yuba City, Marysville. I've been up there.
Yeah, I'm up here.
I used to run out to Camp Far West,
Yeah,
my boat,
yeah.
and then
If
up
there's
to,
any water anymore, it's really, really low.
I have a flat bottom, so we used to run up there.
Oh, nice.
And then we'd go up to Englebright.
Oh, Eagle Bright has a lot of water still. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do a lot of fishing, so I go everywhere.
Yeah,
I like my trout. I like
That's
to
a great
catch
place.
it and eat it right away. Fry it up.
that's a great-
Delicious. I got me a salmon the other day. I think it was a beast. That was a lot of work, man. 1 hour trying to reel in a freaking salmon. And it was delicious though.
Yeah.
So,
Look at how many shower doors you could put in that hour.
I know, right?
Then you can just buy the salmon.
It's not the same though.
No, that's not as much fun.
No, it's not the
Just
same.
saying.
You go out in
Options.
Monterey Bay and fish for salmon. That's great.
Yeah, salmon. Oh yeah,
See-
or get some
see why I
halibut,
don't get it.
too.
Yeah.
Some halibut. Some
Some rock cod,
rock
some
cod.
lake
Ooh,
cod.
lean cod. Oh heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going.
Making me
I'm going
hungry.
on
It's
a,
just about dinner time here.
I'm going on a shark trip next week. In 2 weeks. I'm gonna go fish for some shark. I've never done it before, so let's see what happens.
Where are you doing that at?
I'm doing a guide. I think we're going out of Martinez. I think we're gonna come out of. I don't know. We're going
Yeah.
somewhere. We're gonna go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna be right there. So it's gonna be some fun. If I don't show up next week, you know what happens.
Yeah, we'll see your picture on the news, maybe.
Yeah.
They're gonna say,
You
"Hey,
know,
you guys
it's like-
recognize his hand right here?"
You know, you phone in from your phone, man. Join, have a fishing pole in one hand, your phone in the other hand. Do a little live stream.
I know, right? Yeah, we usually do that.
Yeah.
I'm part of a group called Old Farts Fishing, and we do most of that all the time. We always are live.
OFF.
Old Farts Fish. I'm not that old to be part of it, but I am. I'm not
Getting
old.
there,
but
man. You're getting there.
I am.
I'm not
Yeah,
that old either.
owning your own business and working yourself to death. Yeah, you'll get old fast.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is that
Yeah,
what
so-
happened?
yeah, that's what happens.
No, I have to put up on my wife. That's what happened.
I know, right? I know. I got big in the belly, and then shoot, I got married, and that was the end of that.
No.
Where you going? Nowhere.
So who do you get all your glass from up there in Yuba City?
We go to Old Castle. I get all
Okay.
my Old Castle. I used to use CW, but those guys can't find out. They can't find their their head from their ass, so I don't go there anymore.
So you get it out of Fremont? that where you get it?
Yeah, I get it from
Yeah.
a Fremont. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get deliveries every 3 days a week, Monday,
How about-
Wednesday, Fridays.
How about US Glass? You tried
Where are they
that?
out of?
Richmond.
I never heard of US Glass, but
Yeah,
I
me
get
neither.
really good deals from Old Castle. They really
good.
give I get really good deals. So yeah, I'll check out US Glass.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with US Glass.
They don't have any glass.
I'm having trouble with them. I put in a quote request on Friday. What's today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
I haven't got my quote back from them.
Well, I tried to order 1/4-inch tempered from them. They don't have
3
quote.
days. 3 days to get a quote for a single door. I need a half-inch door that's sandblasted, like
Yeah.
the bottom half.
Yeah,
You guys,
Yeah, and
you
so
guys,
it's like 3 full days they can't get me.
I think they're having problems, I think.
Yeah, they're having
you guys
problems.
use Central Valley for your 1/4-inch glass?
No, I use glass fab out of Tracy.
Yeah, Glass Fab won't even come this way. I already
No,
tried.
they don't go that far.
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of fun.
It's not even that far. It's
If you used to buy from Western States, probably.
yeah, when they were good until True
Until
Light.
True Light took them and
They were garbage after that.
threw them in the toilet.
Yep, man, I miss Western States, man. Oh, that was good times.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
When it was Western States, it was good. Ever since then, I mean, it's never been close to the same.
No.
True Light's gone. I mean, there's a Western States in Southern California, I think.
That's a different
Different?
entity. Yeah.
Mm.
So, Bill, what are your words of wisdom on getting a good employee for a shower door installer? I mean, where would you start if you were Adrian? Where would you start looking for somebody?
2 places, either school, local college, or even right out of trade school and high school if the kid's big enough, like if he was a football player or something like that, or out of the military, the guys coming back from military that are looking for work. Those are 2 good spots. And the rest of them, you know what I do? I go headhunting myself. I go out to restaurants and it's basically doing an interview when I get served. You know, if I go to Outback and I see a server that's really hustling, he looks like I'll say, why do you want to work nights when you could work days? And all of a sudden, you know, they're coming in to apply for jobs. I've had it from guys from Outback or the local breakfast place. When you see guys working retail and then the hours they're working and the money they're not making, try and get them into trades. You get a pretty good chance at it. But
I don't know if I can handle those soft hand guys though, man. They seem like they don't want to touch nothing. I already tried a retail guy and it doesn't work. Those guys, they either it's too hot for them and they want to be inside, you know.
Dude, listen to yourself. Listen to what you're saying. You're casting a negative vibe out
But
there.
look,
Man.
I had one retail guy work for me. He came and I was working at a restaurant. I was cutting down some mirrors to put it in a frame. And it wasn't even hot. It was like maybe like 80 degrees, but the sun was beating on us. And I'm looking for this guy. I go, where's he at? So I'm looking around and I look on the other side of my glass rack. He's squat down in the shade because he said it was too hot.
yeah,
Okay, I'm like, what are you doing? Well, it's too hot. I'm like, oh God. Okay, I knew that guy for a minute. He was not gonna make it. Sure enough, he only lasted about a week and he was gone.
yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm not going to say you're going to get 100%. That's not going to happen.
yeah.
You know, but
What do you
have
guys
to
do?
go.
What do you do all your training at? Do you do it on the job site, or do you guys have like a, in shop training? Like,
Yeah, we've got a pretty good sized shop and we set it up. We call it My Shower Door University, but I've got 3 vignettes set up there, fully tiled with the different types of tiles. So they know different drill bits, doing odd angles, and they can do sliders, door and panels, and custom angles.
Okay.
So, and we just replace the tiles that they drill into. But yeah, everything is, I got a full-time trainer for the guys. And when we get new guys, they get on board and trained. And then if I have no new guys in the system, then he goes out with the next level of guys and just gives them refreshers. So the
Bill,
guy's been with us a while. Yeah.
So how are your guys on their memory?
On their memory?
Yeah.
Memory, you know.
Better than mine, probably.
the capacity. What capacity?
I mean,
there you
okay,
go.
so they go to a job And 2 days later, you tell them, you got to go back to the same job. Will they remember the same job that they
Yeah.
went to?
You know what? I don't even care about that. I give them the piece of paper with the address, and they all have GPSs in the vehicle, and they just go.
Yeah, there's systems. There's systems for all that. All that
Yeah.
stuff can be easily solved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem. You know,
Because I can't remember where I was two days ago, but I've got a system that tells me.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you can find out. Sure. But yeah, Tim, I know what you mean. But the training part of it is if you do it in enough of a ritual, then it's going to be the same way all the time, right? I'm a pilot, and when I started my training, they have checklists,
Yeah.
and that's all you're doing, and you know that you got to do it. So one day you're going to go to your plane, your checklist's not going to be there, and it won't matter because you've done it so many times. You just know the order that things have to be done.
Yeah.
So that's really what we did is we created checklists for installations, whether it's a sliding door, door and panel, whatever it is. There's a process that you follow. And that's going to help with training, and it's going to help with new employees.
So you say you hire firemen
I used to, yeah.
until they went on the,
Well, until I moved down here, but it's kind of like what Adria had, which is a really good idea. We used to hire firefighters, but a little different. Like he said, in California, you can't do it. I did pay him piecemeal, exactly what he was looking to do, but I didn't know you couldn't do it in California.
so they wouldn't be your employee, you would hire them as a piecemeal.
Yeah, I was able to hire him as an employee,
Yeah, because
but
So
they were paid work.
I
They were
was in the
employed.
fire service for 38 years, so you work 24 on, 24 off.
Yeah,
So now they go, I think they're 3 days on, 4 days off.
right.
Is that what
Right.
they did? Have they done that in Florida?
No, that's what they did in Massachusetts. I haven't hired a firefighter in Florida, but when I was in Massachusetts, for 15 years, I was using firefighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 8 of them, and they had A, B, C, and D shifts or
Yeah, they had shifts.
groups.
And you know, when they,
I knew when they were in the station, they knew where they were in the station, and we just rotated. But they were as dependable as the day is long. They were great employees.
oh, yeah.
So Adrian, that's another good option if you can work it out. But we were able to pay him piecework. We just assigned what, the government wants to make sure that you're at least giving them minimum wage. And they want to make sure they're insured. And you almost have to be an employee because the guy doesn't have his own license. So he's got to work for you.
Yeah.
He's got to go under your license. And the thing is that's his pay scale is piecemeal. It's not per hour. That's all. He's still getting paid. And if you work it out, it's probably a higher per hour.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to kind of figure it out, to make it work.
Yeah. I just want to, like I said, he's 25 years old and he knows what he's doing. I got a lot of years. I still got a lot of years with him. He was supposed to move to Texas. He hasn't moved yet. He's still figuring out what he wants to do. I like to get him back. He's a hustler. He's quick. He does a great job. But I mean, it's just, it was not enough. And, I can't pay him more than the guys that, have been here longer, but I might have to. It's just, I'm in charge of the shower door department. And, before, I do all the measuring and quoting and ordering. But now I'm having to install two until I get somebody else. I do have a helper. He's coming along, but you can tell when a helper has that in him where he could be on his own. He doesn't. But he's a good helper though. He is a high-end helper. He knows what he stays one step ahead of you, or one step behind you, and he walks side by side with you. But he's not that person to say, here, take the reins and do it. He's not that kind of person.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But he can be. He's young.
Yeah, so I do have a helper, and that's what I had today. And today I had 2 installs, and then I had 3 measurements to go do after that.
Wow.
And I'm burnt out right now. I started really early this morning, and I'm like, oh. And I'm sitting at the office. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here.
Well, we're glad you're here, man.
Nice to see you. What's the name of your business?
Landa and Sons Glass.
Landa.
Landa and Sons out of Yuba City.
Yeah, you would sit right there.
Wow, awesome, man.
When you get a chance, send me an email
Yeah.
to Bill at My Shower Door, I'm going to type out something for you.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, because you want to
Hey,
see what this kid can bring to your business, and maybe create a place for him to make that money, but not on an hourly where it's going to hurt everybody else, but maybe on he'll make that plus a commission if he can bring you in more business.
Yeah.
And then, and then it's not going to screw up with everybody else, because I know what you're talking about. That's very
Yeah.
bad.
I don't want to pay him way too much where I'm paying more than, some guys have been here for a long time, it's not fair to them.
No, you're exactly right. But if the guy's going to bring in a lot more business and you're
Yeah.
running that department and you can see the value, compensate in a different way.
So the value in the shower doors compared to what the other guys do is it's a long, it's big.
Yeah.
Even with the window window department where my brother takes care of, that's even different from, the everyday stuff like the maintenance that we do and stuff. So, they get, the pay grade is different, but I got a guy who's been with us for almost 20 years. I can't see me paying, this guy more, but like I said, it is a different scale because, shower doors do pay more money, and there's, you could do, 3 or 4 showers a day, and man, I'll pay for a lot of things,
Yeah.
I'll pay for his wage and a lot more too. So it's not like, so.
Yeah,
But
it's like if
the
your
guy
guy
that's been
that
with you
does-
28 years, can he do shower doors?
He can, but okay. So his son is my helper.
It's all right.
And so his son is my helper.
What's
but
for dinner, Bill?
He's all right.
My
He's
wife made me
okay, but
pancakes.
he's not, his detail work is not the best. So
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of dinner, we're about out of
Well,
time.
Bill's eating it.
Yeah, Bill's already started without us.
Hey, it's
Bill,
it's 9:30 here, guys.
Yeah, exactly, right?
is it daylight outside right now where you're
No.
at, Bill?
No.
What am I looking at behind? It looks like
What
your
are you
windows
looking at?
lit up.
Oh, no,
that's-
I'm in my office. That's a picture in the back.
Oh, it looks like I'm
It
looking at a
does.
window.
I
It
know.
does, huh? It looks like a nature outside the window.
It's a photo.
It does.
Well,
Hey, Bill, what's your
guys,
email?
thanks a lot.
What's your
for
email again,
coming.
Bill?
Okay.
your email?
Easy. It's bill@myShowerDoor.com. If I didn't tell you, you would have guessed it.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Send me an email. I'll send you
Okay, I will.
some ideas. All right.
All right, that'd be great. I'll do it right now.
Super.
Hey, yeah, and also speaking of training, tomorrow night is the Slick Clinic. It starts at 5 p.m. So if you're in Slick, I want to remind you, I don't say this enough, but remember that everybody on your team is invited to attend that clinic.
Okay.
So you can give that link to everybody in your company. I don't care if it's your salespeople, if it's your project managers, if it's installers, whoever. Everybody can benefit from knowing this information. So feel free to distribute that widely. And come on in. We'll see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific time for Slick. If you haven't joined up yet, you can always go to glassgadget.com and learn more. All right, guys. Great
All right.
seeing you. See you next
Bye.
Wednesday.